Hello friends and welcome to wintertime in Florida. There are 4 cities with the name Winter in it. Winter Springs, Winter Garden, Winter Haven, and Winter Park. We're gonna go to all 4 of them today. I wanna show you what it's like to live in Florida in the wintertime. I am starting this journey in Winter Springs. I've never been to Winter Springs before. It used to be called North Orlando. It was founded in the early 1800s, and before that it was settled by Indians. But back in the 1970s, the early 70s, this community renamed itself to Winter Springs. Right around the time that the real estate boom was happening in the 40s, 50s, 60s here in Central Florida, a lot of people from the north were allured to this part of the world because of such names like Winter Garden, Winter Haven. Sounds very nice, doesn't it? Well, it is. It's wintertime and it's near Christmas, as you can tell. Mostly what you're going to see is swaying palm trees and people in bathing suits with Santa hats on at the beach and Christmas lights all over the place. In fact, I think that there are more Christmas decorating events here in Florida than in most parts of the country that I've been to for Christmas time. It's true. Even though Winter Springs has been around for quite some time, there's really not a lot going on here. You do a Google search for bars and restaurants, there's a few that pop up, but this is mostly a bedroom community for the Orlando workers. There's 34,000 people in Winter Springs. Some things going on, but not much. There's a few parks, some really great trails from what I hear. But from what the locals have told me at the Publix, where I stopped in to ask if there's an actual downtown or something that I'm missing, they say not really. There's not much going on here. Some strip malls and that's it. You see it. And this cool Christmas tree. It's time to move on to our next southern location, Winter Park. Now, there may not be a lot to do in Winter Springs by way of entertainment, but there is Lake Jesup. A lot of history about that area of Florida. And Lake Jesup, if you're local, you know that that's where all the alligators are. So if an alligator is taken out of a retention pond or a community somewhere, it gets put into Lake Jesup. It's full of alligators. You can go there and check them out. Often we'll see one anywhere around Florida, but that's a hot spot for it. But we are now out of Winter Springs and we are in Winter Park. It's the closest geographical winter community in the area, so let's go walk around and check it out. Looks like someone lost their keys. Hopefully they find them. All along the main street here is called Park Street. Are shops and restaurants and bars and all sorts of things, and there's these little arcades. Not for gaming, but they're an arcade. It's like a connection point between 2 areas, kind of like an alleyway. This is really neat, huh? I could spend days recording videos in this part of town. Winter Park is pretty historical. There's a railroad that goes through here. The Morse Museum is here. That's the Tiffany Glass Museum. Been there a few times. It's one of my favorite museums in all of Florida. Just a really cool part of town to hang out in. Spend a lot of time here. If you are in the market for very high-end clothing, jewelry, home decor, this is a good part of town to find that. Also, to explain what an arcade is, you see it right down here. Just a hallway to more open businesses. Not everything's expensive here. Sale rack. Things for only $20. There's a lot of it. If you're the type of person that likes finding a part of town just to wander around and get lost, find cool things, little antiques and clothing stores and things you know you're never gonna buy, you just like to peruse around and adventure and explore, this is a great place for that, for you. It's also a perfect day to take a nap, try cartwheels, walk around in the park. It's November 29th, It's almost Christmas time, Christmas decorations all over the place, and it's perfect weather out. You can see the temperature is about 75 degrees. I'm justifiably wearing this Hawaiian shirt. It's beautiful. I love Florida. I love black Corvettes. The Sunrail goes right through this park in Winter Park. You can jump right off of this train and walk right over here to all these restaurants, bars, and shops. This is quite a trip. If you want to take a look at what that's like, you go back to my old video about the Sunrail. Take a trip. I asked these guys working over here in the park where the closest beer joint was. If I were to get off of the train and go explore, where do you go get a good beer? They said a place right across the street, so let's go check it out. It's pretty cool. They have Christmas music playing in the speaker system all through the park. It's very pleasant. Craft beers, wine, and cheese. This bar is very big. There's like a million wines in here. You won't see this too often. This is good wine. It also smells wonderful in here because they're baking pizza or bread or something. It's time to move on from Winter Park to Winter Garden. Welcome to Winter Garden, Florida. Beautiful little town. Winter Garden is also a place where there's just a lot going on. The downtown area is full of shops and bars and restaurants, a lot like Winter Park, but this is a little on the outskirts of Orlando proper. Cool little place to hang out. The main street here in Winter Garden is separated by this park where this Christmas tree sits right next to me, and there's some benches and tables. It's a perfect spot to stop and put a jacket on. A lot of you might wonder, does it get cold in Florida? It's always hot, right? It's perfect weather. Well, it's mostly perfect, yes, but it does get cold. Sometimes it gets down into the 30s. It's even snowed in Florida sometimes, not very often. But it gets cold and it's humid even in the wintertime, so that humidity makes it really cold. It feels kind of like a northern winter sometimes, but only for a short time. As you can see, the rest of the day, you can wear your Hawaiian shirt and shorts. I did change into some jeans for the rest of the evening's adventures. Gonna hang out here and see what's going on. That is the best sign I've seen for a long time. There's a lot going on in Winter Garden. I come down here occasionally. It's only about 20 minutes from where I live. I've poked around in a lot of these little places and got to know it. One of my favorite places is Tony's Bar. Just a cool little hangout. Oh, it's closed. Also, Winter Garden is the home of Santa's Workshop, the southern division of it. It's here in the Wheel Works bike shop. Looks like the Santa's helpers are hard at work doing bike stuff. This is another great town to window shop, walk around and just check out all the interesting things that are available. Like, look at all this interesting wall art right here. Cool. Just stuff you probably don't need.
For the fields we go, laughing all the way.
go tonight. Right about now. Winter Garden City Hall. Nice building. Just a short travel from the downtown proper, maybe a couple hundred yards, is one of the best breweries in the area, some say, Crooked Can. Thanks.
Very welcome.
The cool thing about Crooked Can Brewery is that it's not just a brewery, it's a bunch of other artisans. It's people that sell meat. It's a butcher in here, and specialty popcorn back here. And it's like we got some ice cream, and wood fryer pizza, all kinds of things here. It is Christmas time, and I like the idea of having this North Pole cake looking thing in my possession. Hey Mason, I'm gonna need to get this North Pole cake looking thing right down here.
Absolutely.
Oh, I can't wait. Thanks, Mason.
Of course.
All right. Sucker for this stuff. Some very good coffee. I've had it before. I'm not in the mood for it now, but they roasted themselves right here. So I'm gonna make my way back up the main street here in Winter Garden to my car. Over here, all you have to do is ask them for some coffee and they'll give it to you. They're still open. This is where I bid you adieu, my friends. Our night is done in Winter Garden. It's a beautiful evening. It's a little bit chilly. It's a very nice evening. Well, Merry Christmas to you, Santa. Ran into Santa out here. Winter Garden. You never know who you're going to run into. I'll see you tomorrow, friends. Hello friends, welcome to Winter Haven, Florida. Finally our last stop here in this beautiful little town. Population's about 44,000, medium size. It reminds me of a lot of these Midwestern towns. One I grew up near, Springfield, Ohio. It's about the same size. Springfield might be a little bit bigger, but Winter Haven is a cool little place. I've hung out here quite a bit. This park here in the middle of town. It's got a nice Christmas tree display here. It's a little too early for the Christmas tree lightings. It's November 30th today. I wanted to show you all of these winter lands in Florida all in one day, but it was too much to do. So glad you're sticking around for this one. This is an awesome little place. I've never noticed this before. It must be kind of new. There's this interactive map here, and all you have to do is touch the map, and it tells you where the banks are, the ATMs, the restaurants. So we go back here. Well, this is really cool. The very first time that I came to Florida as an adult, I hung out here in Winter Haven for a couple of days, just wandered around downtown. I thought it was a really cool place. So I've always been attracted to it. It's got this old Florida feel. Some of these arcades like we saw in one of the other winter lands. But this is a nice town, it's quiet. There's bars and restaurants and the citrus industry nearby. A lot of history here too. Just wandered into the store, enjoying life here in Winter Haven, and I found this wonderland of outdoor stuff. This is a cool store. Make your own fly stuff, all kinds of it. Wow, I found some space ice cream. I can't believe I found the space ice cream. It's called the Andy Thornell Company. Great store. If you're new to this channel, something you may not know about me is that I cannot resist space ice cream. This dehydrated ice cream is so good to me. I'm assuming that this is Neapolitan because that's what all of it is usually, but I love this stuff. And if you're a sucker for it like me, you can find it here at the Andy Thornell Company. It's interesting that they have that. It's in the dehydrated food section, which I guess they tell me that it's becoming hard to come by. That dehydrated food, the doomsday preppers have bought it all up, so they can't find it very much. Winter Haven has an interesting history. It was founded in the mid-1800s and then incorporated and named itself Winter Haven in 1911. In 1930, on September 6th, a special store opened right here in the downtown square, the very first Publix grocery store by 22-year-old Mr. Jenkins. Right here at 58 4th Street Northwest. It's now called Tempo 1930. This was the site of the very first Publix. We must go in and check it out.
Thank you.
Yep. I've been here a few times before. The food is great. The desserts here are awesome. You wouldn't be able to tell that this was ever a grocery store, but there is some memorabilia of the olden days here on the walls. Let me show you that. This building behind me is the location of the second Publix supermarket. This building, in fact, is the location of the very first electronic door. Pretty cool, huh? Before I moved to Florida about 10 years ago, there's some things I just didn't know about it. Like, I assumed that the bugs were bigger, and I hear about all the snakes that are down in the Everglades. People drop off, and now it's become a problem. And of course, you hear about alligators, being a problem. Well, a lot of this stuff was really made out to be a bigger deal than what it actually is. Yeah, there's alligators and it's cool to see them. They really don't mess with you. The weather is really nice all through the wintertime. You pay your dues in the summer. It's kind of like a ghost town in some places. People don't come out that much in the middle of the summer. It's so hot. But in the wintertime, it's glorious. I really do love Florida in the wintertime. One other thing that I wondered before I moved here was if it's more expensive to live in Florida than other places. I lived in Oklahoma and in Ohio, and I found them to be about the same as living here in Florida. In fact, the beer that I'm about to purchase at this local establishment is going to taste and cost just the same as most parts of the country. I'm looking forward to this beer. Right next to the Ritz Theater is the Central Tavern. Let's go have a pint. Well, the Central Tavern was a really cool little spot there. Beer was good. Friends, I hope you enjoyed this video about kind of what it's like to live in Florida in the wintertime. I know I didn't answer all the questions you may have, just some of the things that I was wondering before I moved to Florida. I thought it was a cool way to explain it as we travel to Winter Springs, Winter Park, Winter Garden, and Winter Haven. My favorite of the winters, Winter Haven. Thanks for joining me today, friends. I appreciate it. If you like what you're seeing, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.